Hey everyone, it's Chef Alyssa from Cafe WT. I have a special guest today, my cousin, Jaren. She will be assisting me as my sous chef today. She prepped all of the mise en place and we made sure that she wore a cut glove. Today we will be featuring one of the ancient grains that Chef Jay-Z from In Harvest mentioned, farro. Farro is a grain that is packed with fiber, protein, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. It is a great alternative to substitute into your diet. So we are doing a spin today on a classic Italian dish called risotto, which we usually use arborio rice in this dish, but today we're going to substitute it out with the farro. So today's ingredients that we are going to be using, we have 1 cup of farro that I soaked overnight in 2 cups of water, some veggie base that I already have simmering in the back, some cooking white wine, half and half. I've got a small dice of yellow onion, a rough chop of garlic, some crimini mushrooms, oven roasted grape tomatoes that we roasted for about 15 minutes at 350 degrees, a rough chop of kale, some chopped parsley, and then we have 2 different kinds of parmesan. I've got shaved parmesan and grated parmesan. And we also have some shrimp that I got marinating in salt and pepper and a little bit of oil. Safety tip: if you're using frozen shrimp, make sure you defrost correctly under running cold water, or let the frozen shrimp defrost in the refrigerator the night before. You don't want shrimp sitting out and run the risk of bacteria growing on it. So let's begin the cooking process. So we've got our pan heating up right now. We're about to put a little bit of butter and a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna sear the shrimp first. We want to let the shrimp get some caramelization on it, so it's best not to touch it yet. So as soon as you start seeing it turn a little opaque and orange, you can start flipping it over. There you go. So I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit because I'm going to throw the onion in. I'm going to add a little bit of butter. You might see some crusty bits on your pan, but that's perfectly fine. That's flavor that is coming from the shrimp. We just want the onion to sweat a little bit, wait for it to get translucent. This process that we're doing with the onion, it's basically called we're sweating it. I'm going to add the crimini mushrooms. Whenever you saute mushrooms, there's going to be moisture that's going to be released. We want to cook it till that water gets evaporated. I'm going to season a little bit with salt. You always want to season your ingredients as you're throwing them in, so that you know that your food is well seasoned at the very end, and you won't have to add any salt. So I'm going to start adding in the farro. Sizzle is a good sound. You can start adding in the garlic. We didn't add the garlic in the beginning because we don't want it to burn. So there's little bits that are sticking to the pan. Don't worry, we're gonna deglaze the pan right now with some of the wine and this broth that we have simmering. The thing with risotto, you want to constantly stir it so we can get to the consistency that we want it at. So we're seeing that the farro absorbed that wine pretty well. So I'm going to add some of that hot broth that we have here. And we're going to let it just absorb this. You can see that the farro is no longer sticking to the bottom of the pan because we deglazed it. If you've ever seen how they classically make risotto with arborio rice, they usually start from when it's uncooked and they just slowly cook it in the pan and they're constantly stirring it. And that creaminess that you're getting from risotto is from the starchiness of the arborio rice. We let the farro soak last night, so the cooking process for the farro is literally just in this pan right now. It soaked up a lot of that water and got soft already. Stir, 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 stir. I'm going to add in a little bit of the half and half. now it's nice and creamy, we're gonna start adding in the grated parmesan. You don't want to add too much at one time because then the cheese is just gonna stick together. We want to melt the cheese into the liquid. Adding a little more cheese. Also going to add in the kale. Add a little bit of liquid just to loosen it up a little bit. You don't want your risotto too thick, but nice and creamy. Let's add in the roasted grape tomatoes. You can hit it with a little bit of salt. We'll add the shrimp back in just so we can heat it back up. And that's basically it for the cooking process. Simple and easy, healthy substitute. So now we're gonna plate the risotto. You can definitely turn this into just a vegetarian dish if you want. Maybe with like a cauliflower steak or stuffed bell pepper. You could even take this risotto and stuff the bell pepper with it. Angel, can you garnish please?
So just put as much?
Yeah. Go wild. Put more cheese.
Okay, bet.
That's good. More parsley. Nice. And there it is. We've got our farro risotto with some seared shrimp. Super easy to make. Farro, it's really packed with all these great things that's good for your health and your diet. And this concludes our video for today.